But then Daycare was dragged in. I was dragged into the horror Morror world for the third time. I looked around. I saw a pizza cutter and I picked it up. But it was useless, so I threw it away. I saw the caves. I looked at the caves. But then it sucked me in. I was stuck into the caves. It was scary. I heard a scream. And then I saw the cave screamer. I saw the cave screamer. I saw the cave screamer. And then Daycare tripped over a rock and it alerted the creature. Daycare said, "Uh-oh, I'm in trouble now." Ran away as fast as I could. But then Daycare started tripping everywhere. And then he got pulled out of the caves. And he screamed, obviously, because who wouldn't? Daycare screamed. And then Daycare saw. You wanna know what Daycare saw? Daycare saw a clicker rifle. The clicker rifle was on the ground. He picked up the clicker rifle and then he saw the red ball of death rolling towards him. He aimed his gun. And then he started shooting at it. But every time the bullet hit it, it would get destroyed. So then Daycare just ran. And then when he looked back, it was gone. And then Daycare said, "Oh shoot." I mean, Daycare would have already ran, but you know, lay bro. But then Daycare heard some rustling. You wanna know who the frick it was? It was K1Y4 in the freaking bushes. She was in the freaking bushes. She wanted to help Daycare. And then they went to the forest, the Terror's woods, the freaking horror. They went to the Terror's woods, and then they saw the Terror. The freaking Terror! Let me get the Terror! Shoot! Oh, guys. Daycare saw. But then the Terror saw them. Then K1Y4 had to fight them. But then Daycare looked over at a tree and saw the Terror's bag. He tried to rip it off, but then he realized it was so secure to the tree. It was so secure to the tree, he couldn't even get it off. It was so tight. So Daycare just realized something. He looks back over and sees that K1Y4 is attacking the Terror. They tumble on the ground, yes. And then they get up. And then they swing at each other. But then Daycare runs away. But then he runs back. And then K1Y4 slashes at the Terror. And it disappears as soon as she looks away. Now the Terror's gone. And then they go to this cabin. And then Daycare puts the clicker rifle on the table. This table with this blue cloth. And then he hears creaks outside. K1Y4 stumbles outside, and Daycare walks outside. And then they see Pock fall from the sky. And they wanted to have Pock. I don't know why. K1Y4 took Pock. And then we started walking over. And then we went to the abandoned building. And then we saw Mr. Grindy. He was gonna chop us up. But then Daycare realized it was just a bear. He could have just kicked it. But don't kick it in the mouth. It might grind you. I mean, I know you're wearing shoes, but still, be careful. Anyways, I kicked it. And, we kind of went back outside. And then we saw what spooked us the most. It was crazy. Mr. Steeler was right in front of us, staring at us. And then K1Y4 didn't move. And then I was like, what the frick? What the frick is going on? So then we started to run. And then we heard munching. And then I looked over and I saw the Fat of Death eating a peach. And then when it got done eating the peach, it looked over at us. And it said it was gonna eat us. K1Y4 had to kill it. So then K1Y4 started to attack it. And then K1Y4 was slashing at it with a big ass axe. Look at this. And then the Fat of Death finally got slashed. And it died. And then Daycare went into this house. But then he wanted to walk along the road. It's daytime now, you know. But then Daycare saw Regina sitting there. And she got up. And K1Y4 saw Regina. And she looked at her with a one big eye. You know, big eye? Anyways. Regina teleported Daycare. Regina teleported me. And then Regina brought me to the house. Yes, the house. And Regina walked away. And then I wanted to check out this house. I wanted to see what was in the cupboards. I found shit. I looked in one of the cupboards and I saw chloroform in the cupboard. And then I said, what is this doing here? Who would just have this in their house? And then I opened up the bottom cupboard and I saw citric acid in the bottom cupboard. And then I said, what the? This is getting weirder and weirder. So then I went to the bathroom. I opened up this glass mirror cabinet thing. And then I saw Radafor. And then I was like, what the frick is this doing in here? So I had no idea why there was Radafor in the glassy cupboard. It was kind of weird, actually. Why the hell was there Radafor? Why is there so many of these weird things in this house? It's actually kind of creeping me out. But then I went outside. and then I saw something pull up. I looked over, and I saw the tow truck pull up. I walked up to it and opened the door, and I got in. And then I started driving. The sun was setting. So then when I was driving, I saw something. I looked out the window and I saw it. And then I was scared. But then I looked over at the passenger side and I saw some rope. So I grabbed the rope and I lassoed it. And I opened my window and I threw it out the window and I caught it. And I stopped the car and I brought it in the house. I caught it and I punched it. And then I threw it in the trunk of the car and I closed it. I'm pretty evil. And then I got back in the car. But then I saw a cornfield. So I got back out the car and I started to walk over to the cornfield. But then I saw K1Y4 standing there. She was back. But she didn't have her axe. It was missing. And I was like, oh shoot. But then I saw the terror holding her axe. And it lunged at us. And the K1Y4 grabbed the axe and swung it back at the terror. Then it fell over and disintegrated. And then we got in the car. You know how tall she is? She had to squeeze into the freaking tow truck, bruh. The tow truck. So I was almost out of here. Well, we were. So then we were driving down the road. Well, we were in the cornfield. Well, we weren't like driving through it. We were in the pathway of it. Car accessible. Anyways. But then everything started to break. Daycare said, "Ow, oh God, what's going on? But then Daycare says, oh, where am I? But then Daycare realized something. He was at the end, but he didn't know where he was. Then Daycare said this place looked familiar. But then Daycare gets a picture on his phone, and he looks at the picture and realizing, wait a second, why did I get a picture of Bull Island? Why did I get a picture of Bull Island? I want to know why I got a picture of Bull Island. But then Daycare realized something. He looked in the background of the image, and then he looked where he was, and realized that Then he looked behind him, and saw that Bull Island was there. And then he realized he was on the second island. But nothing looked the same. It was all black and white. So then Daycare was wondering, wait a second. Why am I on a different island than the other island? Because the island's still all the way over there. And I'm on a different island. So Daycare was walking around this island next to the other island. And then he saw the terrifying thing in the whole world. He saw Old Bloke's hat. Daycare says, no way. How did this get here? And then he looked up. And he saw Old Bloke. He was alive. And And then old bloke walked up to him and he said,